Hey guys, this episode I talk a little bit about, manifestation and being mindful and living in the moment and just how important it is because we can get so caught up in our heads and it's so dangerous to live like mindlessly. We can't be living on autopilot and expect to have control over our reality. It just can't happen. So I talk a little bit about that. As always, I'm so happy that you're here and I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Thanks. I'm back with season 2. It's Basement Philosophies and I'm your host, Brittany. Here, we won't follow the script of the mainstream media. We'll talk about real life, real problems, and now that I'm a new mom, we're going to talk about that too. Welcome back, and I'm so happy that you're here. Let's get to it. Oh, hello. Good morning. Don't you like how I acted like I didn't just set all this up to record this? I hope you're all doing well. I had this all set up to record yesterday, but as soon as I was about to start and I hit record, the baby woke up, and I tried a few times to keep going, and it was just too much. Like, she needs too much attention, and she was moving, and like, she does this thing where if you're talking but you're not looking at her, she talks, and she'll talk louder and louder until you look at her. It's adorable, but that's the only thing you can do. But I don't care. It's perfect. So I put it all away, and I woke up this morning. I was going to lay back down with her because she doesn't like to sleep right now. Like at night, she's not crying though. She's just squirming and moving, and she just wants to be awake. I don't know. But I'm up. I'm here, and yeah. I'm so excited. I love doing these every week. I love it. I never thought I would love something, but I do. And so I wasn't sure really. Oh, before I get into it, whoever listened to this and prayed for me, I did find an internship site, and I start, I guess, on August. I don't really know the details, but thank you. I'm so happy. One step closer to graduating. It's gonna be awesome. But I want to tell you, thank you. I went to interview on Tuesday. First of all, big day. I drove the baby and I all the way to my sister's, left her with my sister. That was the longest time I've ever been away. I only cried a little bit. And Quinn did amazing in the car. Amazing. Like, I was just kissing her and loving her and thanking her, and I was just like, oh my god, thank you. It was just she fell asleep in the car. She wasn't screaming, so I wasn't driving while she was screaming. It was just really incredible, and I'm just so grateful, and I just love Quinn so much. And she was good with my sister. My sister is really good with babies, though. It's me who's never been good with babies. Like, that's why when I say I had a baby, everyone was really, really shocked. Not as shocked as I was, but they're like, I never thought she would have a kid. But it's all working out, and it's not because I didn't. It wasn't like, ew, kids, no, not for me. It's just I was fine not having them, but I would not be fine if I didn't have Quinn in my life now. So I can't imagine my life before her, without her. She's just my everything. So yeah, it definitely changed. I'm definitely a mom and I love it. But before, it was just wasn't in the cards, and I was okay with that. So it's weird how things work out, but here we are, and she's right here. She's asleep in her little carrier. I can get her to sleep really long in these. So, and she hasn't been napping as long. And I've been trying to get her to nap by herself. She's kind of doing it, kind of not. Needless to say, we're always together. So, and I'm okay with it. But she's starting to nap on her own. But I'm not rushing it or anything. I'm just, we're learning. That's all. And it's a learning process for both me and her. And I think she's well, of course, she's doing what she needs to do, and I'm learning to follow. Honestly, that's what I'm doing. A lot of people train their kids and things like that, and I get it. Like, routine, hello, love it, but it's not really what we're doing here on this side. And not messing with her developmental techniques is proving to work out pretty well. She's very happy, she's very calm, and she's just hitting all the marks that she needs to hit. She's growing, and she's strong and healthy, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what you're doing, just as long as you're giving them love and taking care of them. That's all that matters, right? And I love how everybody does it differently, and I like to hear about what other people do. It's crazy, like, the differences, and I appreciate them and I respect them, because that way I can learn, like, okay, if this way doesn't work, then what are my options? That's why it's so great that everyone's not the same. God, people get so mad when in this community of moms. I hate it. I hate how, like, mad people get when you don't do something your way, It's sad. I didn't know it was like that, but it's okay. We are working on a different path. That's why this platform exists. So anyway, I didn't know what I really wanted to talk about this time. And yesterday when I sat down, I was like, what, universe, like, give me a message. And what came up was talking a little bit about living in the moment, like being in the present moment. And I know that sounds boring, and you hear a lot of people talk about that. But then, like, I've been thinking a lot, like, wow, since I couldn't record this yesterday, and I was kind of just thinking about the topic. And I was like, this plays a lot into, like, mindfulness and manifesting, because you all know I'm working on, like, manifesting, and I'm not, like, a hardcore manifester, like, believer, like The Secret. I'm not like I want that to be true, and it probably is, but I'm starting out, like, to intentionally manifest lots of different things. And you would think by now I would be totally sure, but I'm so conditioned, I think, in this aspect that I'm just not quite convinced yet. And what I love about this podcast is that I'm telling you this from real time. So you're kind of like on this journey with me. Normally, when you're trying to learn about this stuff and you're manifesting, like, you go to someone who's already, quote, quote, an expert, kind of, like, they've been there, done that, and they know it's real. But here I'm just like, meh, I'm not really sure. So I'm going to keep trying, So I like that. Where I'm going to see, like, where this goes. So since I have started on this journey to intentionally manifest, first off, I will tell you, it is so hard for me to know, like, exactly what I want. So, I've gone to different teachers on this topic. I listened to lots of different people, and they're like, you have to feel like you already have it. You have to feel like you're there. You have to, be able to visualize it and just imagine that you're already there, like, whatever it is, And honestly, I haven't really got there yet, because I don't know what I want to manifest to be able to visualize and, like, know that I'm there, right? So the things that have come into my life so far, I just kind of put it out there. This just shows, like, maybe you don't have to do all of that, but I don't know. Maybe you have to with things, like, I don't know. Because, like, I'm going to say I put some stuff out there, and it's here now. Like, I remember I was like, I know we need a house. We need some space. I want to live on the ground again. I want there to be a pool, but, I don't really care about the actual house part, just as long as there's space and room for everyone to be happy and grow and have their space. And sure enough, like, we're moving on August 12th, and it's all of that. And I didn't have any specifics, except the pool, and I got that. So I don't know, like, what was that it? Or was that a coincidence, right? It's my human brain always calling it a coincidence, because that's what we do. And I needed my internship, and I wanted it to be the right place, and I needed it on time. And while I did get an extension and the universe waited till the very last minute, I did get it. But again, was it the prayers? Was it all the work I did, a combination of everything? Or was it like a coincidence? I don't know. I don't really know. So I need like one specific thing where I know, like, I manifested that. And you would think, like, once my truck that now my fiance's son has, which I still love, by the way, but it wasn't practical with the baby, and he really needed a vehicle. And at that time, you just couldn't find anything used. So I was like, he can have mine. But like now it's like I didn't have to sell it to someone I didn't know. Like, I see it sometimes, and I'm really happy that of all the people that have it, he does. But like, that was exactly what I wanted. I dreamed of it. It was a big black Chevy, jacked up 6 inches, big tires. It was beautiful. I'm gonna have another one. Like, I still love that truck. And that's what I wanted, and I got it. Like, it took years, and you kind of forget about it, but there it was. And you don't think it's gonna be as great as you want it to be, but that was. So maybe that was. Here I am talking about manifesting and how I've done it, but I'm not convinced. But now I'm like back, and like I'm trying again, and I need to know that I'm really that powerful, right? Because I'm all about empowerment and understanding who I am. And we live in, a matrix where we're constantly told what to think, feel, act. Our power is taken away pretty much constantly, not even taken away. It's also, we give it up voluntarily, very easily. So in order to break out of that, I'm doing this. So we'll see how it goes. So right now I'm just trying to figure out what I really, really want to manifest. And I don't want it to be too small that it feels like a coincidence again. So I'm thinking about that right now. But, okay, sorry, I got on a little rant. On this journey, what I've discovered is like how important, living in the moment is in regards to how I was living like mindlessly, like on autopilot. And I can remember, in this, I've gotten a lot better, living in the moment, thanks to, and I gotta say, aside from learning patience from having a newborn, because I had zero patience, but for some reason, I guess because she's my little girl and I love her too much, I have all the patience in the world. It came from some place, and that could only have come from her, because that's something I struggle with forever. And being in the moment, I did it, it would be bouts, and it wouldn't be consistently, but it was either through meditation or, paying attention to what I was doing, but it comes in spurts. Then, I'd start drinking wine and it'd be done, but right now, and being pregnant and having a baby, it's been consistent because you have to pay attention when you have a baby. And maybe not all the time, but it took one time of her being in her bouncer and I was bouncing her and I looked up something on my phone only to look at her and realize she was looking at the back of my phone. And that made me feel like total garbage. So that only happened once. And I was like, okay, no, never again. My daughter's not going to look at the back of the phone. Like, so gross. So I'm constantly looking at her and loving her and just noticing her. And then it's so easy to be in the moment because I have her. Now, I'm not saying go out and have a baby to go practice being in the moment, because there's thousands and thousands of different ways to practice, mindfulness. But I was in such a bad place, back in my 20s. I can recall a time where I was driving to Kemah. It's about an hour. It was about an hour from the home that I lived in, maybe an hour, give or take. I don't really know. And I can recall having got there and not having no recollection of how. And I was driving. Not only is that dangerous, right? But I was just like, whoa, that was like weird. And of course, I was such a hypochondriac back then. I immediately thought I had like a brain tumor or something. Not, I didn't. Of course, it was due to the years and years of suppressing my emotions and neglecting myself. But no, I thought I had a brain tumor. Like, that's who I was. Oh, God. And then, like, it wasn't until, I went through a terrible breakup and lost everything and started going to therapy that I realized just how much I was living on autopilot, just letting the world happen. And they say we had control over our reality. And I gotta say, if that's true, that means my subconscious was controlling my environment. And you bet it was horrible. Like, it was horrible. My friend, I lost all my friends. Because, once I broke out of that, I lost all my friends, lost a job, lost everything. It all fell apart. And then I started from scratch. And that's how I'm here now. And it was a blessing. But, oh my God, it was so, 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 so painful. And I just remember I couldn't really think. I mean, I could think, but I couldn't really think critically. I wasn't thinking for myself. I was run by fear. I mean, I've talked about that before. I was just overrun by fear. And I think a lot of people are, especially we have the internet now and so many things to distract us. And, that's why we're so easily controlled. That's why society is so easily, willing to give up their power. And I'm hoping more people start to speak out about that, because we have to get to a place where we start thinking about thinking for ourselves. Because if we're just going to let people tell us what's best for us, that's very, very dangerous. And it's another reason why I started, this platform. Yeah, my reach is not that big. Censorship is a thing. I'm not saying I'm getting censored. I'm just saying not a lot of people know me. I come from my little corner of the world, and I just started talking, right? But I think every little bit helps, in my opinion. Honestly, my podcast it's my hobby. It's what I love. It's just something that brings me joy, and that's why I do it. I don't do it because I need to be famous, or people get famous off podcasts, but no, that's not what I need. I just love it. I love it's like a form of therapy for me, but if my message reaches one person, that's all that matters. I know I have to be of service, and this is just one of the ways that I'm doing that. Sorry about that paper. I dropped my notebook. But, I had to integrate a lot of my emotions. A lot of stuff was going on in my body that I had to integrate. So, it started, I said, how I integrated and all that. We can get into that if that's something you want to hear about. And I think I've kind of talked about it before a little bit. But we can go in depth if y'all are interested. But, excuse me. Yeah, so I had to integrate so much to get to this point. And living in the moment is a very powerful tool, because things will come up. And that's what my yoga practice did for me without me trying to do that. Yoga, it started because I was very unhealthy. I was in a really bad place. I didn't go in there being oh, yes, I would like to live in the moment and get in touch with all of these mental, all this mental shit. No, I did it because I was yoga's easy and it's stretching. I'll start there. I knew nothing about yoga. So that's that is what started this whole journey for me. And I didn't even mean to do it. And it just happened. Thank God, though, because I'm in, like, because now if something comes up, I can sit with it, you know, and not be overrun by it. But it takes practice. And it's, you know, and I say that because it can still happen, you know, like there was a moment the other night, I was sitting on the balcony, and this just shows how powerful our thoughts are. And this also got me really, really interested in the manifestation journey because of how powerful our thoughts are. And I'll tell you, like, what happened. I was sitting on the balcony, and I was sitting there with my daughter, and she was just kind of fussy, and so she likes to sit outside. She loves to be outside. And I just kind of rock her back and forth, and she was getting sleepies. So I know I was sitting there, and I didn't have anything. I was just kind of looking out. You know, I live up high, so I was looking out on the city and the sky and everything. And I just got to thinking about something that had happened in the past. And it wasn't that long ago. It was when I was pregnant. And something happened there, and I'm not too sure, like, I'm not sure what happened, but I feel like something happened and nobody's telling me, and, like, trying to protect me. One, because I was pregnant and I was having a very hard time, and two, because now I'm a new mother and people don't want to stress me out. Like, I don't know. Something happened, and like, look, it's even bothering me now. I'm not going to go into, like, what I think it was, but something happened. People aren't friends anymore. I don't know what happened. Nobody will tell me, right? Well, I kept thinking about it, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting really upset. I need to stop, you know, like, but I just need to know. And then I'm just like thinking and thinking and thinking. So I got, like, so upset, and I'm sitting there, and, like, tears start falling down my face, right? So then after that, after I'm crying about whatever happened that I don't even know, I start thinking about my future, and I'm like, what does this mean for my future? Like, I mean, I started going, like, down a rabbit hole, and I'm like, what does this mean for my future? Right? And then, like, I started getting scared. Like, I was sad and scared all at the same time, and I was like, oh my God. And I was just so worked up. Like, I worked myself almost to, like, panic. And I was staring at my phone, and I was like, something bad's about to happen. Something bad's about to happen. Somebody's about to ruin my whole world right now. Somebody's about to do something. I just know it. And no, nothing happened. Like, I was like, Brittany, you gotta snap out of it. And I was like, Brittany, you have to snap out of it. You gotta snap out of it. And I took a deep breath, and I was like, and it was just like very conscious deep breaths. You know, you take long inhale, hold it, exhale. I did, like, I don't know how many of those. And I'm like, okay, Brittany, are you fine in this moment? I'm telling myself this, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine in this moment. And I was and then it was like, kind of like, okay, look at your surroundings. Like, look at the beautiful sky. Be grateful. You know, look at your beautiful daughter. She's breathing. She's happy. She's healthy. She's talking. You know, think about that. You know, be grateful, right? And so I was just breathing and being grateful, you know, and I kind of snapped out of it, and I got to a place where I was fine, and I was like, it's true. Like, in this exact moment, this is all there is. It was kind of like a wake up moment. Like, that was all that there was. Like, it didn't matter what happened in the past. The future hadn't even happened yet. Anything can happen in the future. You know, quantum leaps are real. And I was just like, okay, like, yeah, I'm okay. You know, and then I was just like, in this moment, this is all that matters. And what's happening right now, it's beautiful. My daughter's beautiful. The sky is beautiful. I'm healthy. My daughter's healthy. We're breathing. We're happy. We're together. Like, I'm totally fine in this moment. And I just focused on that. And I was like, woo, you know, and I got to a place where I calmed down, and finally it was like time to go lay down. And I still didn't feel great, but I felt better. But I was like, wow, my thoughts alone sent me down that path. And I was like, whoa. And anything could have happened. Like, I could have reached out to people. I could have asked questions. I could have really ruffled some feathers, right? But I didn't. I just calmed down because it doesn't matter. Whatever happened back then, it happened, right? And my future, it's happening. Like, anything could happen, right? But my present moment was fine. Why did I need to ruin it, And I went to bed and I woke up and I was okay, right? It's just crazy how much our thoughts can control us and how much they can lead us down certain roads, right? Like, I was in panic mode. I was in fear mode. You shouldn't be making decisions during that time. You shouldn't be reaching out to people, during that. And so when that type of stuff happens, I give myself a little grace and I'm like, thank you for trying to protect me, but let's try something different this time. And I talk to myself like I'm a crazy person, but it works for me. It doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me because I'm really trying to get in touch with, this person that I am because, like I said, I was outside of my body for so long. And this pregnancy brought me back. And I'm just kind of learning to, love myself, take care of myself, and kind of just wondering where all the wounds and stuff have come from because I don't really know. And that's not to say I'm going to blame my parents and my childhood, things like that. It's just there is unresolved stuff there. And I just really, like to know. But I think most of it is that I hadn't loved myself. I don't know. I wasn't taking care of myself. And that's all changed now. So, it's just this constant thing you have to work on. At least me, you're not always going to be mindful, right? Sometimes I do want to just watch TV. But sometimes I want to actually, sit down and see what's going on up there. I like to do mindful work. I like to meditate and read books and learn different things. A lot of people don't, but I like to learn about myself and how the mind works. Which is good because, I'm a therapist. So, but I like to know, it drives me. My passion is knowing why people do the things that they do. And that's different for everybody. And it's just interesting. It's like that is just what makes me keep going. Like, I love it. I never knew I was passionate about anything. It took me this long to figure out that that's what I'm passionate about. Well, now I'm being mom because I just love watching her grow. It's just the most amazing thing. But, yeah. So being mindful has played like a huge role in this manifesting thing. And I know that now more than ever because last night, I didn't want to watch anything. I was laying there with my daughter. I kind of laid down early because I'm trying to get a routine, but it's not really working. But I was laying down with her and I was like, okay, let's try to visualize, right? And like I said, I don't really know exactly what I want. And so that was problem number one, right? So then I'm just I thought of something really small, and I was trying to visualize it, but then my mind would wander, and I'm like, no, I gotta go visualize this so I can manifest it. So I was like, okay, I'm there, and I'm trying to picture myself there. Or whatever it was. I don't even remember what I was trying to do because like I said, it wasn't anything big that I wanted to, I have big manifestations that will take time, I assume. But this is something small, an item that I wanted. I think it was I don't remember. But I was just visualizing and trying to imagine I have it and all of this. But my mind, it kept on going to something else. And I'm like, no, we're visualizing so we can manifest. So I'd go back. And it's like such a powerful form of meditation, right? And it's so hard. And I'm just like, God, my mind, it's just like 90 to nothing all the time. And that's what you want to kind of, you can't, I don't think it's right to say to clear your thoughts, because I don't think that's possible. Maybe it is. I don't know. But just was like, no, I got to get back like to my manifestation visualization. Like I want to visualize this because I want to bring it into my field. I feel so dumb the way, because that's how they describe it. Like all the people like that I'm like going to for this, they're just like, you have to feel like you're there. You have to feel like you already have it. You've all heard it if you've done this type of work. So I was doing that, but my mind was just like, la, 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 let's go over here and think about something that happened 1,000,000 years ago, or let's go over here and, think about something crazy. Like, I don't know, like the things that were popping up in my head. I'm like, what the F? Like, why am I thinking about that? Like, let's go back to visualizing. And I would be like way deep in another thought, far away from my visualization before I even realized. And I'm like, wait, no, I'm not supposed to be doing this. Okay, let's go back to my visualization. It's such a mess. But it was funny nonetheless. Like, I think that's important too, to like make it fun. I know from experience that being desperate for something it's not good. Like, coming from a place of desperation, it doesn't feel good, and I don't think it's going to get you there. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say like, oh, desperation means lack and blah, blah, blah. No, maybe that's true, but so far what I'm learning is like desperation, if you have to be a certain vibration, which again, I don't know, some of you might not believe in that, but if you do, and you are low and you're in lack and you're coming from a place of desperation, like, it's not going to get you there. It's just not. And I understand that now. Like, but at least I was having fun, and at least I wasn't like, oh no, I have to do this. Like, I have to because I have to, I was just like, excuse me, I was just having fun with it, and I was laughing. Like, I was laughing at how far down the road I was with that thought, and I would come back, Not only was it good work, like mental work, but I was just like, I wonder if this still works if you have to keep coming back. But I'm going to keep practicing. So, this, and I'll keep you updated. I'm sure there's something I forgot, but this one's a little shorter, but that's okay. It really got to the point, and I really was just going to talk about living in the moment, but it does make sense that it has so much to do with mindfulness and manifesting. Like, I just never put those together, but wow, look, see, I'm learning so much just by sharing with all of you. So if you're on this journey too, maybe try that, keep that in mind. Maybe it'll help get you a little further. So I need to think of something to visualize and really make it happen so that next week I can be like, oh my God. But so that's where I am right now. And I love that I'm sharing it from this perspective, because then you all will see the evidence when it does or does not happen for me. But I hope you're all doing well. And if you want to talk to me or say hi or ask me a question or whatever, you can always email me, contact me, Basement Philosophies on Instagram. BasementPhilosophies.com is my blog, but I haven't been very active on there because there's a lot of stuff I need to do to it, and I'm not good with that kind of stuff. And then there's I don't need to say I'm not good. I need to like read up, because like I need to fix some things and add some things. It's not that I'm not good, I just never did it before. And then you can also find me on Instagram. I'm kind of active on there, but not really. But I can see your message, so you can come find me, or basementphilosophies@gmail.com. I hope that you all are doing well. I hope you go into the weekend feeling awesome. If you send me prayers, thank you, and I will be sending you all prayers as well. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.